strike Russia where it's not expecting it. It's also a clear indication that Russia is not invincible.
Loss is unsustainable in terms of having effective mechanized operations.
At 2:17 a.m., dozens of drones crossed into Moscow's skies. By dawn, the Evolution Tower, worth over $3 billion, was on fire.
A way that the Russian security services and military have been stunned by and were absolutely not ready for.
But what's shocking isn't just the strike itself. It's how Ukrainian forces use cheap drones, electronic warfare, and precision missiles to punch through one of the most advanced air defense networks on Earth. How could Moscow's fortress-like defenses fail? And what does this mean for Russia's ability to protect its own capital? Stay with us, because what happened next left Russia scrambling to rethink its entire strategy.
That has now become a thing of the past, and this war is now in a very different and a very difficult sort of a terrain.
Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video. When Moscow's skyline erupted in fire, most headlines circled on the burning Evolution Tower. But the real shock was hidden in the hours before the impact. Ukraine didn't just send a few drones across enemy lines. It unleashed a layered assault designed to overwhelm every link in Russia's expensive air shield. What looked like a single strike on a skyscraper was actually the climax of a confrontation that put billions of dollars in defense technology to the test, and for the first time, forced those systems into a fight they weren't built to win. It began precisely at 2:17 a.m. Sirens cut through the quiet night as radar crews registered a sudden surge of unidentified objects along multiple approach paths. Small drones, some no bigger than a standard suitcase, pushed across the detection grid. At the same time, ballistic threats lit up incoming tracks. Russian commanders scrambled intercept orders. Surface-to-air missile batteries fired into the darkness, while anti-aircraft crews manned their positions around the edges of the city. Overlapping layers built for rapid engagement kicked into motion, much like Western designs using Patriot or NASAMS coverage. But those systems were meant to face hostile aircraft or precision missiles. Here they were confronting a stream of loitering drones that behaved nothing like conventional targets. The mismatch quickly became obvious.
Of projectiles fired from the other's territory into the other's territory, and you rightly said that in the most recent one, it was 126 Ukrainian drones.
Moscow's prized S-400 squadrons are optimized for jets flying at high altitude or cruise missiles barreling in at supersonic speeds. The Pantsir gun missile systems perched on rooftops were calibrated to cut down larger targets. Yet Ukraine's drones hugged the ground, skimmed under radar beams, and split into unpredictable paths.
It can be located from anywhere with you just need a good connectivity, internet connection.
Operators use GPS and pre-programmed routes, but could also switch to first-person camera feeds, making them adaptable in real time. Some kamikaze FPV drones snaked through valleys and lifted only at the last second before diving onto targets. Every irregular flight path forced Russian radar crews into second-guessing their own data, hesitating between ghost echoes and genuine threats.
What we're seeing here is an extraordinary assault that not only is it a demonstration of Ukraine's ability to innovate.
Complicating the defense even further, Ukraine paired those drones with missile launches intended to saturate key nodes. ATACMS long-range missiles rained down on Russian staging zones well outside the city, pulling interceptors away from the capital and cutting into the coherence of the defense net. Meanwhile, electronic warfare units flew modified drones that jammed communication lines and disrupted target acquisition. Imagine trying to direct a billion-dollar interceptor missile while the screen itself glitches with noise. Crews inside command vehicles watch their scopes blink off and on as if systems were malfunctioning. But the issue was deliberate jamming. What this revealed about Russia's integrated doctrine was blunt. They had prepared for large, high-value strikes, not for swarms of low-cost expendable platforms mixed with precision fires.
It is very obvious. What is different about this attack in a way that, well, Ukraine has launched massive attacks on Russia.
Decades of design logic emphasize defending against a NATO-style air raid of fighter formations or cruise missiles, not dozens of plastic-bodied drones slipping between antennas and streetlights. Military analysts have pointed out that even Western anti-air networks were never engineered for swarms of this scale. Radars can be blinded. Interceptors can be drawn into wasting shots on inconsequential targets. The defense equation flips when each missile costs millions while the drone it shoots down is worth a few $1,000s at most. That imbalance became catastrophic inside Moscow's envelope. Every time a Panzer fired, it was an overreaction in cost terms.
Its victory in Ukraine is inevitable. This extraordinary operation shows that Ukraine is still in this fight.
Each S-400 launch drained strategic inventory meant for real warheads. Russian commanders faced the dilemma of either holding fire and letting drones pass unchecked or engaging in depleting readiness. Ukraine structured the assault to force exactly that choice. By the time a fraction of drones slipped through to central Moscow, the defenders had already wasted tens of millions in munitions chasing what was, in material cost, a fraction of that value. The payoff was devastatingly clear. Evolution Tower, a $3 billion symbol of Moscow's modern skyline, burned from a direct drone strike. Scenes that once seemed unimaginable, fire pouring from a glass tower in the protected heart of the Russian capital, were suddenly broadcast around the world. The message wasn't only that Ukraine could strike the city, it was that Moscow's most trusted defensive systems could be bypassed, exposed, and beaten with persistence and planning.
Strike Russia where it's not expecting it. It's also a clear indication that Russia is not invincible.
And that set the stage for something far larger. This wasn't just symbolic destruction of a landmark, but a warning shot at the credibility of Russia's entire posture on air dominance and even its nuclear security. A capital that presents itself as impenetrable had been pierced, not by stealth bombers or cutting-edge missiles, but by fleets of small drones operating in concert.
Drones have been crucial for Ukraine in the war and can now be operated from just about anywhere.
Loss is unsustainable in terms of having effective mechanized operations.
If that image could collapse in a single night, what did it mean for the strength Russia projects to both its own people and its adversaries abroad? The strike on Evolution Tower showed modern wars are shifting. Expensive jets and guided missiles no longer dominate skies by themselves. Swarms of cheap drones, paired with electronic warfare and precise rockets, can dismantle defensive systems built over decades. A city shield worth billions fell to machines that cost only thousands.
Ukrainian air defenses have been quite well adapted to hit most of the missiles and drones.
He has been blamed by Russia on a Ukrainian drone attack. It was one of a series of strikes on Russian military infrastructure this weekend.
If the capital of Russia can be reached, then no capital can claim safety in this kind of conflict. The question now is simple. Will drone swarms stay as Ukraine's advantage, or will they spark a new global arms race in drone and counter-drone warfare? Share your thoughts below.